The lemon lime, the strawberry shortcake, and the blue raspberry. No carbs, no sugars, no gluten if you give a shit about that. We are live in over 100 stores in Tennessee. Florida just opened up. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the Monday Morning Recap, everyone. Good morning. It's 5 o'clock on the East Coast. As always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. I know I always say get off the couch and get into the action today, but I'm in the action tonight, damn it. And I've used the full $1,000 tonight. All right, if you're just joining us, I talked about this maybe an hour or two ago in Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook that I'll be dropping my bets. I just switched it up. So I took the full Grande, the full Ariana Grande on the teaser god had to get in on this. Horned Frogs plus 20 and the under at 70 is what it came in at. And I'm going to text. Did I text this to you, Giorgio? Where could I send this here?
Ross's iMac, airdrop it.
I don't know. I'll airdrop this shit, dude. You act like I don't fucking airdrop every goddamn day. Boom. That's MacBook Pro. It's probably going here.
I think it's going to your laptop.
Gross. Yeah. Gross.
This is like watching a fucking
dumb, dude.
monkey try to figure something out.
It's not that. I got two people on here. I got Dan and I got Ross's. What is it? Yeah, Giorgio's laughing now.
I'm waiting.
What it is? I got I'm gonna get two things
because you can't figure out
Dan's.
technology.
No, I got Dan's phone.
You don't
and
have
I got
my
Ross's
phone.
iMac. I sure do.
My phone is not named Dan.
Giorgio, you
it's
just
named
popped
Dick
up.
Tree.
No,
my phone is also not.
Send it to Giorgio.
Airdrop
Let
me.
Giorgio figure it out.
I just texted to him.
He said I popped
waiting.
up.
He's airdropping it.
Waiting for Giorgio, it says. Giorgio, stop waiting and answer the bell, dude. Answer the bell.
I'm waiting to exhale.
While we're waiting, does anybody?
It's not coming through, is it?
Do you know the difference?
Shit's worthless, dude.
Do you know the difference
fucking
between an oral and a rectal thermometer?
A mouth and a butthole?
The taste.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
Nailed it.
We were very decidedly against butthole temperature measurement when our baby was born. We were like, let's just go out and buy one of the forehead.
Temporal scanner, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like
It's not
maybe.
accurate.
Well, it is.
It is accurate.
But it's quite a bit more accurate actually.
That
But,
putting something up your kid's ass.
yeah, I'm not sure where that idea originally came. I guess it's hard to get the child to
Under the tongue.
keep their mouth
Yeah.
closed over something, which you would know about. But the butthole as a second option,
Sure.
I feel like it would be further down the list.
Right. Well, you can do under the armpit too,
Yeah.
but that's not great.
It's not very accurate. Yeah.
Giorgio, I just texted that to you because that technology is better, obviously, than AirDrop. Only 2 people showed up, which is creepy. That's creepy. I figured everybody would have AirDrop on, but they don't.
Well, you have to have your phone unlocked as well at the time.
Oh, shit. Did this spread go up?
It's 13.5.
God damn, dude. I just bet it at 13. So it's up a half a point. All right, let's get into it. So I was listening to Barstool on the way home on Friday, Big Cat and Portnoy. 2 reasons why I wanted to see, what he had to say about being on Rogan, obviously. And then the other one was I wanted to see, they said that they were going to talk about their ratings for the bowl game that they bought and whether or not they were going to do it again. So they said that they got over 1 million views off that thing, and they ran it off their website. Do you believe that?
Yeah, it's live sports.
But do you believe for that game in particular?
Doesn't matter.
So you want to know what the
football.
most watched thing in the United States of America on December 23rd was on any cable or broadcast?
Football.
It was the Missouri Wake Forest bowl game, the Gasparilla Bowl.
Football, yeah.
Nothing on the entire day was watched more than that bowl game.
Why do they have
Tigers.
so many bowl games?
Money.
Because they do ratings.
Well, I think it's gambling too, because the ratings have been up since gambling got introduced everywhere.
Gambling's always existed, though.
But not like this.
It's
not where you
not
could
been
do it on your
mentioned,
phone. Like, I know where you live, Delco, every single person in your neighborhood is a bookie. But in
every
the
other
rest
person,
of real America, it's not the case. I'm from Georgia. We didn't have
Right.
shit like
it's like
that.
it's like, oh, dude, did you hear? Mike went to Vegas and he actually bought a future bet on the Braves or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
dude, he's gonna cash it in if he fucking.
Oh no, his fucking future ticket went through the wash.
Yeah.
Right. Like I remember going on all my recruiting trips when I went to Auburn. They took you to some housing locations of where you could be housed, and they said if you're married, you're going to stay in these trailer parks. And they said it completely stone-faced and serious. And they drove us to the trailer parks. And I was like, is this like this at every school? And there was another kid from Georgia with me. He's like, it's got to be, right? And I was like, oh, no, that's just fucking Southern bullshit.
Dude, give me a trailer as a freshman with me and my wife? Yes,
It was
please?
a real fucking trailer home, by the way,
give
bro.
Your
an
freshman wife?
athletic
What?
trailer? Yeah.
What part of that sounds good as an 18-year-old? Trailer?
Wife?
Wife, all of it, dude, was
A trailer is
no-no.
only acceptable if it's on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. The only nice one I've ever seen that I was like, I could live there was the one in Malibu.
So a
Or
boat
if
trailer.
if you ever went to what's his name, Tony Jaa's place in Vegas. Did you ever go there?
Yes.
Me and Conan went there one day. Remember the big ass
Yeah,
attorney
yeah.
from
I love
Black
Conan.
Rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. But did you guys know about this? The guy that Tony Hsieh, the guy that did Zappos, right?
Okay.
He built this weird fucking trailer park in downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super nice.
idea.
But it was like really nice. It was.
Yeah.
Really
he's a
nice,
billionaire, and he was like, you know what I'm gonna do with my $1 billion is fucking build an eco-friendly. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
like,
just a drug den.
I mean,
Everybody
yeah,
just was
yeah.
high on ayahuasca mushrooms all the
There's a
time.
nice trailer park on Barton Springs in Austin, but you're in the city, so
Right.
it's like it's
Yeah.
not a real trailer.
I mean,
not a
we're-
real trailer
We're
park.
2 doors down from a trailer park.
Exactly.
If there's not a
Right
fucking
here.
meth lab somewhere within 300 feet of you, you're not in a trailer park.
Chances are, yeah.
if you
Chances
can't
are.
smell cat urine,
Yeah.
then you're not in a
Yeah,
trailer
you're not in a trailer park. You're in like a RV stop. You know what I mean? Like where just like people with a $300,000 RV like pull up for a couple days.
Yeah, but anyways, I brought up the Barstool thing because they were talking about this coming matchup, obviously, and they were talking about Ohio State in particular beating Georgia in that game in every single facet, except for obviously the final fucking score of it. And they said that TCU had a shot and that they were pretty convinced. And they apologized to the audience that they were pretty convinced that Georgia was going to win it all when they shouldn't have got out of that game. Now they're in this game. So that caused me to go back and watch both of the CFP games over the weekend back to back. They were on nonstop on ESPN2. We'll start with the Georgia-Ohio State game. And this is why I think TCU's got a chance. And I changed my bet today. Well, I didn't change it. I just didn't place it yet until today. The thing that was interesting was Ohio State rolled out Stroud either right or left and then made him throw that way. Traditionally, he's a drop back quarterback and doesn't do it. Now, they had done it to get around the defense. Now, for me, what I saw in the game tape, again, was the lanes were open. So if he was a running quarterback, now I know he had to do it in the fourth quarter because his running backs were out, but let's say he was a running quarterback like Duggan is, right? He could have exploited that defense even further if he could. Now, I know Duggan's not as accurate as a passer as Stroud, but I think there's a genuine chance here for TCU tonight. And is anybody on board with this at all? Because it seems like there's just momentum where you go through these weeks and it seems like teams are just going to win and you have a good feeling about it. I felt that way about Tennessee versus Alabama. And it felt like the whole world did, even though the spread was 7.5 in that game. This is 13.5. Does TCU have a shot at this tonight?
I would love for TCU to have a shot. It's the first true Cinderella in the playoff era.
Literally, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know if that deserved a hype.
Yeah, I
award.
think it did. I think it did. So people on ESPN this morning were saying if they were to win tonight, this would probably be the biggest upset in national championship history in 30 or 40 years.
They were 5-7 last year, and they didn't really change the roster that much. They got
right.
a new coach.
And Duggan wasn't even, he was benched to start the season. And it was going to be another guy. And then somebody, who was the guy that he was?
Well, Duggan was benched, I think, because he had like surgery in the offseason on like a, I don't know.
He had breast implants. It was
Yeah, that's
weird.
what it
Nobody
was.
wants to talk about it.
Yeah, but we should.
Yeah.
We should talk about his titties.
I mean, they're small.
Yeah.
He didn't get big. I mean, obviously because of the fucking.
Yeah, it's like a tasteful B.
Yeah, it's like a small B.
Yeah.
But as I was watching the TCU game next with Michigan, like Michigan to me had the best defense that's at least from like what Ohio State faced. Watching those two teams back to back in consecutive weeks, they had some fucking horrific mistakes, but so did Georgia as well against Ohio State. I think they got a shot at this, dude.
I don't.
For real?
For real.
So do you think this is a huge blowout tonight?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'll be pulling for the Horned Frogs. I would love to see them win the national
What's their?
championship.
Where's your money at though?
Well, I just need. I'm in a bowl pool, so I just need Georgia to win outright. But if I was to put money on the spread, I would go Georgia. I would lay the points. I think Georgia's going to win by 3 scores.
So am I off in the plus 20 then?
Yeah, I think Georgia could win by 21.
Okay.
I would say probably just by 21. So 42-21 final score.
42-21? Okay.
Remember how that TCU's last game went? It's really important for them. Like, Georgia can grind it out for the entire game and still have a better than average shot of winning. TCU needs to start scoring immediately. And
Yes.
they probably need some help up from their defense with regard to scoring as well.
They need to either have another pick 6 or 2, or at least get turnovers deep in Georgia territory.
Yeah, they were up 21-6 at halftime against Michigan. Georgia's the same kind of team. They get started slow, but the defense is a lot better. TCU's defense played with a lot of energy, but as you can see in the second half of that game against Michigan, who is not a high-powered offense, that energy doesn't last forever.
Yeah, and the problem is too. So yeah, one thing that's gonna be interesting is I think I was surprised by how good TCU's defensive line was.
Same, yeah.
And that's going to be a problem for Bennett. But the thing is, though, is like, yeah, they're going to have to rack up points early because, like, there aren't teams. There's only like 4 or 5 teams in the country that have the sort of depth that Georgia has. Michigan's not one of them. Ohio State probably is. Alabama certainly is. Tennessee's not one of them even. Like, it's most teams in the SEC.
On defense, Clemson is too.
Yeah.
But there's not. Yeah, you're right. Defensively speaking, there's not a whole lot of teams that have a deep defense, particularly in the front 7.
Yeah.
Where people get tired. I mean, those cornerbacks, they can run all day. Safeties, especially free safety, you don't even run that much.
But take Georgia's best cornerback. It's Keely Ringo. He was on Marvin Harrison Jr., who's 6'4", 215. Quentin Johnson will be playing against him tonight. He's 6'4", 215.
But
And he had his way with him.
But Quentin Johnson is a different kind of 6'4", 215 than Marvin Harrison is, right?
Yeah, because he's a young guy. Like, he hasn't developed into his body yet.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson's a fucking man.
He's a fucking man.
Yeah.
He's a beast. I don't think Max is anywhere the quarterback that CJ Stroud is.
Certainly not.
But he can
he's
run,
He's a
though.
gamer. He can run, and that makes me think I can see him getting taken out in the first or second quarter, like head hunting.
Physically?
Yeah, like
Getting,
physically
like,
injured. Yeah.
get
I mean, if
brutal
you're
hit.
Georgia, one targeting call and that game is pretty much over and not for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
Georgia
that,
would be fun.
Not that I think they would necessarily do that, but they're definitely going to try. And the ironic part about that is TCU. It might be TCU's best shot if Duggan's running around. You know what I mean? Causing havoc for their defense and upsetting.
It's the best shot they have.
Right. And
He has to run.
He's
though.
going to sacrifice his body. He's going to lay it all on the field, and I think he's going to get hurt. Like, that's just going to happen.
It's possible.
The other part, too, that I found interesting in rewatching these games over the weekend is with Sonny Dykes in particular. He was one of the coaches for Gronk. Now, to shut down Georgia, Brock Bowers is a huge part of their offense at tight end there. He would know how to do that defensively. And at least he's got some input on it. The only question mark is TCU's running back could be injured. They said it's a 50-50 shot to play with the sprained MCL. Look, he had 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns on the season. That's a huge blow, but nobody can really run against Georgia running back-wise. Anyways, you just kind of need an accurate passer and then a running quarterback, and that'll do it there. Man, I think they can do it tonight. I think I'm going to sprinkle the money line. Do you sprinkle that at all? Just because it's virtually 4-1?
That's not enough value.
4-1?
No, TCU needs
Mattress
to be,
Mac took it.
He needs to be 6-1.
Mattress Mac took it at $1.5 million.
I don't
yesterday.
see any scenario where TCU wins a game.
It's tough. I mean, it's just Georgia's like they're so deep. They need to make mistakes, and like people were really underselling how bad Michigan had to play for TCU to barely win. Like everything that could have gone
They
wrong.
didn't barely win.
Well, they didn't. It
One
wasn't
score.
It wasn't
Well,
everything that went wrong.
backdoor.
The way you're phrasing it sounds like they just didn't execute properly, but the game plan was fucked from the beginning, right?
And Rob was also all over Michigan's dick. I didn't think Michigan was that good.
Kirby Smart is not going to make the mistakes that Jim Harbaugh made. Like he's the guy, right?
Yeah.
So I think the thing to really watch out for is Georgia with their third down conversion percentage on the season is 50%. That's fucking high.
Yeah.
That's really high. TCU's is 40. That's still pretty good. And that'll probably be what decides this game. Because in TCU against Michigan, I think it was 50 or 55% third down conversions. That's the difference. A great defense, like you can have a great defense, but if they don't execute on third down and get you off the field, what's the fucking point?
Right.
You know what I mean?
They need to essentially keep their defense rested because they don't have the depth that Georgia has.
So TCU's best option, hopefully that running back is playing, but their best option is to try to chew up as much clock as possible in the first half of this game.
Which they can do with a running quarterback.
Yeah, you can, but I mean,
If
like
he stays in bounds, obviously.
it might be better for them to have 7-minute long touchdown or even field goal drives than to fucking throw bombs and score quickly.
Right.
To be honest,
right.
because the more you can keep your defense off the field in the first half, that's the only shot they have at winning this game.
Yes. So let's go around the horn here real quick for tonight's game. Holloway, we'll start with you first. What do you got as far as UGA minus 13.5? Over under here is 62 and 63 on my bookie right now. What do you got there?
I put 1,000 on the TCU money line.
Did you really? You think TCU is going to win tonight?
I don't know. But if they do, I'm going to win some money. It's a narrow path to victory.
It is.
Like I said, but everybody knows what's going on. Like Kirby knows what they have to do to win. Everybody knows what they have to do to win this game.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a matter of execution. And, Stetson Bennett performs better under pressure than any quarterback in college football right now. That's statistically true, right? Mm-hmm. So probably not going to win any money. But if I do, it's going to be $3,700.
But also at like 25, he's seen the entire world and probably rented his own car to go to the game there because he's legally allowed to.
But it's little things. Like if TCU can figure out a way to convert on third down, they've got a shot to win this game. Like, honestly.
I agree.
They can put together 3 to 6 minute long drives, keep their defense off the field, and that's going to keep them in the game.
And they didn't play scared against Michigan in that game.
They don't seem to give a fuck.
No,
right?
no,
They're playing
not
with house
scared.
money at this point. And that's what the coaches are telling them right now. Like, hey, we're not even fucking supposed to be here, but we just whipped that team's ass that everybody said was such a good defense.
I know.
Fuck these guys.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And he's probably telling his team, look, it's the same fucking team.
Yeah.
It's not an impressive quarterback.
It actually is the same team, and frankly, I think Michigan's got a better offense. If they had let McCarthy run the whole time,
Or if Blake Corum played. I mean, I know Corum is coming back. Congratulations to Michigan next year. Corum is coming back next year, but if Corum played too,
even
it's a whole different
with
ballgame.
Edwards, even with the team they had on the field, if they had run the ball more with McCarthy, Michigan would have won that game.
Yeah.
But he's a freshman. Maybe they don't want to fuck him up this early in his career. It's the fucking CFP, dude. Your job is not to develop talent. It's to fucking win games.
Win the game.
But whatever.
Who do you got, Bum?
I mean, it's got to to cover, I actually think TCU can at the very least backdoor this, frantic, scrambling, late scoring points. So I'll say TCU covers. I mean, they're the dog for a reason. Like, it feels like this is a Georgia win for sure. Like, I don't know how Georgia doesn't win. Like, it's going to be a massive upset / choke if Georgia loses this game, which will be props to TCU, but also a fucking choke job on Georgia's part.
Now, what do I want in my heart? I want TCU to win just for the story of it.
Same.
I think it would be a blast. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I think it'll be 28-24 Georgia in this one. But I'm going to sprinkle that money line. I'll probably do like $69.69 on that one, just for funsies. 'Cause that'll still pay off at like $250, being 4-1 odds there. But I'm looking forward to this game. It's in 2 hours here coming up. Amp for that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go home and throw some ribeyes on the smoker and take a huge shit.
Yeah, it sounds
And
nice.
then it'll be time to watch fucking football. I might pound off in between. My buddy's going to come over. You remember, I'll tell
Yeah,
I
know who
can't
you're talking
say his name on TV. But
You're going to pound off with him, though?
no, he's not getting until fucking 7 or 7:30. But yeah, we're going to
Pound off together.
probably pound off together, eat
Yeah.
some steaks,
That'd be
talk
great.
about human trafficking and stuff.
Why not?
Sick.
Why not?
But watch football. That's the most important part. And the taking the shit is the other important part.
Exactly. Like I said, Michigan, Blake Corum is coming back. I don't think he had a choice. That knee injury was gnarly. And, it's an 8-month injury.
Are you even
so
going to do the
he's
show, or
gonna
are
be
you just
back.
going to talk shit to people in the
Jesus
chat?
Christ.
He's just lighting people up in the chat right now.
Why?
Because the guy's saying he like made money betting against my golf picks. I'm like taking 60 to 1, 100 to 1 odds in golf.
Who won?
Oh, this week it was John Rahm, the favorite. So, like, cool. If you took the favorite.
How's his butt looking this year?
Yeah, how's his
Is it
ass
pretty
looking?
good?
How's his club
I
foot?
mean, his ass looks great, like as always.
Okay.
But
How's that
Colin
club foot?
Morikawa absolutely choked.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't watch the end of it. But speaking of college here, we'll flip on over to Cliff Kingsbury. Just got fired. He is a college coach to me, not an NFL coach. Will he...
He'll be Ohio State's
offensive coordinator. Yeah.
next year,
So they just lost theirs. He became the head coach of Tulsa. Come on down.
He needs to.
I would like. Cliff
He needs to
Kingsbury there. That'd be
reestablish
great.
some bona fides at a blue blood again, and then he'll get a head coaching job somewhere.
Is he or I'm sorry.
Everybody offensively except for Stroud hasn't announced yet, but everybody offensively is coming back for those guys. Same with all those running backs that got hurt for Ohio State. They don't have a choice but to come back now because they don't have any fucking stats.
What is Bill O'Brien still at Alabama, or did he leave? Because
I haven't
Bama
heard
fans
anything.
hated Bill
Yeah, I know.
O'Brien
So
this year.
it could be. I could see him going to Bama
I
too.
could too. Yeah, I could too, for sure.
Or honestly, fucking who's Clemson's OC? Like he could go to any blue blood. Really,
Well,
but-
it was Venables, and he left.
No, he was
he
DC.
was
Or
DC.
Yeah, that's right.
The OC went somewhere though too. He was
he
gone.
did.
That
He
was
went
2
to
years
USF.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Right,
2
yeah.
years ago, right?
yeah, he's out.
So I don't know who the coordinators are there now.
So he's out. Lovie Smith, though, you got to love the move yesterday. He obviously knows he's fired.
Yeah.
So he goes out, wins the game. So Houston loses the first pick of the draft now.
And his first love, the Bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slid right into the one.
The greatest thing about
I'm sure
he goes
fucking-
for 2, and then he gets fired immediately after the game.
Urlacher's going to have something to say about that tomorrow, I guarantee you. And it'll be positive. He loves Lovie Smith. Everybody loves Lovie
Yeah.
Smith. Players do anyway.
Do you think that's why he did it? That's why I brought
Fuck
it
yeah,
up.
he did it for that reason.
He had to have, right?
There's used to be a meme that says I aspire to that level of pettiness. I literally aspire to that level.
But
of
also,
pettiness.
you have 3 wins or 2 wins at that time. Like, why aren't you going for 2? Like, who wants overtime? Who
Right.
cares?
Well, you don't want it, but you want the pick. I mean, the pick is millions of dollars. Look, Houston was all in on Bryce Young. Dan and I talked about this last night afterwards. Now Chicago's got the first pick. They have Fields.
Yeah.
They don't need a quarterback. Now they can just trade back. It'll either cost Houston to get Bryce Young or another team.
Think about this: a team out there that desperately needs a quarterback, like
Commanders?
the Falcons, the Redskins. There's a ton of teams out
The
there.
Eagles,
that need a
yes.
quarterback.
Yeah. Yes. Which we'll get to.
Chicago doesn't need the number 1 pick, right? They can get what they need, which is a premier receiver like Quentin Johnson at 7. They can trade back to 7 and get an extra second-round draft pick. And, man, Houston fucked themselves over. Although, I mean, it's going to be between Bryce Young and Will Levis probably. Is that really fucking yourself over? I don't know.
They're also going to need another team to jump them because, I mean, the Bears are going to not take a quarterback.
I think
Despite,
what I'm
there's
saying.
people online who are like, oh,
the
are they
Bears
sure
will
Justin Fields is the quarterback? Yeah, he's the guy.
Yes, he's the dude.
I don't think there's a standout number 1 overall pick this year. So the Bears probably trade down and get a second round draft pick. They probably trade down, take Quentin Johnson or a fucking defensive or an edge rusher with the 5 to 8 pick, and then take a receiver and a tight end in the second round, probably.
And
right?
you get Jake Haener in the 6th round from Fresno. More people talking shit in the chat saying I think Haener is the best quarterback. I do. I'm gonna put my reputation on that.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm getting on the ledge where I'm actually taking like a bold take.
It's not that. So when we, that infamous draft show that everybody talks about, it was because I told the Browns to take Josh Allen, and they took Baker Mayfield, and everybody's like, nobody knows anything about Josh Allen. I was like, I'm telling you, I watched 3 games that guy fucking played, and he was amazing. And I got hell for it. And then it got worse because Baker ended up winning Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And they were like, fuck you, we told you. And I was like, give it one more year.
Think of all the guys that have won Rookie of the Year that just kind of flamed out. Baker now. Vince Young.
QBs in particular.
Robert Griffin.
Once
Yeah.
you have a second year of footage on them, that's when the decline starts to happen for a lot of these guys. First year, it's like, all right, sweet. You don't have any fucking game tape on these guys, except for college, and that doesn't fucking matter.
Baker will be back next year, though.
I
Not as a
don't
starter.
think so.
Not as a starter.
I think he goes to the booth.
No, he's not that good.
You make so much more money.
He's too petty.
Being a backup than you do.
He
in the
can't be
booth.
an announcer. He's
Yeah.
too petty.
He'll make $4 million a year as a backup. He'll make another $3 to $5 million in endorsements. Why would he fucking give that up?
I think pride of not being a starter will eventually get
Actually,
get him.
for a backup in the NFL now, you might be making $7-8 million.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
Look, the most of these guys on TV right now are making fucking 12 to 15 million. So who knows? Who knows, man? What he ends up doing.
I'm not sure Baker's got the personality to be on camera.
He's on
like
every
that.
fucking goddamn commercial. So somebody
that's-
thinks he is.
It's one thing.
I'm with you.
It's one thing
I'm with
reading
you, by
off
the way.
cue cards.
So
It's
not
another
live
thing-
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And then let's see, who else is gone? Kingsbury's gone.
Yep.
Lovey's
will be
gone.
gone.
Yeah, is somebody's brought up the head coach of Miami? Are you fucking retarded, dude? Like that's been a serious conversation
They made
today.
the playoffs.
Yeah, not only did they make the playoffs, but what they were saying was he finished, I guess, with a worse record than Brian Flores did.
Whatever.
With way more talent.
See, I would think maybe he would be in danger because of the Tua situation, but even then, you don't fire him.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's fine there. I don't think McDaniels gets fired in his first year over at the Raiders. More than anything,
Well, the next firings are going to be
McCarthy.
McCarthy's gone. Unless they win. They're going to lose in the first round to Tampa Bay, probably.
Let's
And
go.
he'll be
It's in
"You're outta
Tampa
there.
Bay,
You're
yeah.
out of there.
My can't lose parlay of Dallas and the Packers did not go well.
That was
I was just like, these two teams actually want to play, right? All right. They'll win.
No, they sure didn't. No reason to play that game. Why does Dallas play that game at all? Simply for exactly what happened.
Well, they were playing at the same time. They could have got the 1 seed. If we lost to the Giants, which, we were in control of the whole game, but
Well, here's the real
There was a-
question,
there-
I guess.
it's closer.
In the last third of the third quarter, it was very clear that Philly was going to win. It was
And
very
the
clear that
the Niners were gonna win,
and
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Niners were going to win. And
Yep.
Dallas still had Dak out there into the fourth quarter, and he sucked.
it was punishment.
Oh my God! Jerry Jones, he does the fucking podcast every Monday morning, and this morning his fucking discussion was, oh yeah, I mean he called it horrific or something. He used a word that was like, yeah, it's absolute fucking not tragic. What do you say? Whatever he said, he was like, yeah, we can fucking make something out of this horrible situation. Like,
Yeah.
no, you can't. Like your team was already limping into the playoffs in the fucking first place. You know what I mean? And a couple people are banged up. There's no reason to fucking play that game.
Yeah, you don't have Rain Dakota out there. By the way, that's his real name. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. It's Rain Dakota Prescott.
Either way, all they did was show that team can't win. That's what's in the back of their mind now. There was
Yeah.
It was a bad matchup. Commanders. That's why I didn't want to see them in the playoffs. I'm glad the Commanders didn't make it.
But here's the real issue is now you have that shitty fucking game in your mind going against Tom Brady, who's at home. Fuck that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
And by the way, Julio's going to be back.
it's a Monday night game too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the
They-
first time they've ever had Monday night playoff games.
They opened the season, right? The Bucks, Cowboys. Bucks beat them.
Was that this year?
That was this year, right?
They all
Yeah, I think it
fucking
was.
blend together.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost 19-3.
The Cowboys did.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Dude,
That was, yeah.
The under $500 are going to win the Super Bowl.
No, they're not.
Let's go.
No.
I don't see them
They're
getting
not.
past Philly or
They're definitely not going to
San
buy
Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah.
No, they're definitely not getting out of there.
What about the? Well, I
We
guess-
can run, we can run through the games here. So Chiefs Raiders, that's the probably in my lifetime, I think that's the most disrespectful offensive football play I've ever seen in my entire life during that game when they decided to do the snow globe and then throw a touchdown pass. I've never seen anything like it. That's what you would see in a Pop Warner game.
Well, they burned it. They can't even use it in the playoffs now.
No, so they were clearly just fucking with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the biggest rivalry in the NFL. Maybe not the largest from a nationwide perspective, but the two organizations that hate each other the most
Deeply
are those
petty.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Except for maybe Philly and
Philly
Dallas,
Cowboys.
But,
Yeah.
Philly
I mean,
Cowboys,
Cowboys, Giants,
Steelers,
it's-
Browns.
Those two, the Cowboys and
Steelers,
Phillies.
Ravens.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's a few of them.
This is like the Chiefs fans. The reason I say that is because the Midwest, generally speaking, is pretty affable as a group of people, and Chiefs fans are really like if you're a fucking Giants fan or something, you show up to a Chiefs game wearing all your gear, no problem.
Yeah.
But if you show up wearing Raiders gear, you might get in a fight.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of how mouthy the state of Missouri's getting.
Yeah, it's getting real mouth. Is that where Kansas City is? Mm-hmm. You bet. It's the best thing
Well,
there.
it's shared.
Are you a Chiefs fan, Bob?
I mean, I have sympathies towards it, but I don't really
No,
care.
Ross, he's from St. Louis. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
the NFL's.
Rams
There's-
fan.
there's-
Rams
there's
fan.
a-
Gotcha.
No.
St. Louis
A
fans
Stan
don't watch
Kroenke
football
fan.
anymore.
He's a Kroenke fan.
Yeah.
St.
Kroenke fan,
Louis fans swore off football
Football.
the way you did all of Atlanta sports.
All of Atlanta
Yeah.
sports, yeah.
It's dead to
But by the way, Pat
dead.
Mahomes real quick, definitely the MVP now.
Yeah.
Just quietly, no one even noticed. Another 1 seed, another MVP season, and set the all-time NFL record for all-purpose yards.
Asterisk, though.
Don't worry about that. Yeah,
To
17
that one
games.
seed, you know?
Well, yeah, one extra game, but we'll talk about that too. But with him, 5,250 yards passing. I mean, what the fuck are we doing anymore?
I mean, there is an extra game, right?
There is, but he only had 250. He was already over 5,000 before this started.
He's still 500 yards ahead of the second place guy. So that's credit, right? Like,
Right.
you got to get credit for that.
Yeah.
You got to get credit for being 10% more than the next guy down the list.
Who was second, by the way?
Justin Herbert.
Brady was 3?
Yep.
What?
Dude,
Wow.
Mike
remember Brady
Evans.
having that
Mike
good
Evans just clocked in with his 11th straight fucking 1,000-yard season to start his career. I've never even heard of Mike Evans until Tom Brady got to Tampa Bay.
Well, him and
fantasy
Manziel.
football,
Yeah, Texas
football.
A&M. Great.
yeah, wait, and A&M, but not in the NFL because it was fucking crab legs thrown to him all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they scored
Mike
35
Glennon,
points a
too.
game, but they gave up
There's
60.
there's actually a theory going around with A&M fans in the last couple of years that Evans basically made Manziel because Johnny would just run around and scramble and throw wild balls, and Evans would just, who was an animal, would just go up there and get everything.
It might not be that far off.
Well,
'cause-
also a premier coach like Sumlin.
Yeah, someone,
yeah,
absolutely.
Pat's, yeah. Is that Pat? Was his name Pat
Kevin.
or Ken?
Kevin.
Ken? Yep.
Kev.
Yep.
Yeah.
That premier guy.
He had the
No one
swag
can
copter,
forget.
the helicopter where he would
Gross.
fly recruits.
Gross. Next up was the Jaguars game, man. That was I thought the Jags were going to win by a lot more than that. Took
they
a
don't-
teaser.
I was
one,
sweating
but
that hard
same
because
here.
I had
This is-
Jags live when they were down 10-0 at like plus 150.
That's a good bet,
And I
though.
put $500 on it, and I was just like,
No, that's a good
Well,
bet.
at the end, I'm like, I don't trust Trevor Lawrence to win this game.
Man.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's. There's no number one receiver on that team.
It's not even that. He overthrew
He did. He
multiple
didn't-
balls.
he didn't look
they should
great.
have scored like 2 other touchdowns.
That last one,
the scoop and
especially, was
score,
bad.
I breathed
their
a sigh of
life.
relief, though, because I'm like, there's no way Josh
Didn't it-
Dobbs is going to score a touchdown here.
Didn't it
Yeah.
seem like his mechanics deteriorated from like the middle of the third quarter?
He just
to
got
the end of the
excited.
game? Like
he overthrew
Yeah,
it.
but
it
it was
seemed
like
like he was nervous.
he completed a couple on the same drive where he overthrew that ball in the end zone. Actually, he completed a couple of sidearm passes, and you could tell on that last one that he overthrew, he got on the side of he got under the ball a little bit, and it fucking sailed on him. You know what I mean?
In real life, though, he's 6'6". There's no need to
Yeah.
sidearm anyone. Like,
Well, no,
you
he's
just go over the
sidearming.
top.
He's
It was Kirk,
sidearming
right?
to
That's
avoid
I know.
defensive ends there, but like once, like you got to fucking. That's just repetitions. That's just being young.
But
But it was
easily,
Josh Dobbs.
your coach of the year, Doug P.
Oh yeah,
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. I mean,
far and away.
it's not even close. And he got him into the playoffs. Congratulations. I think they're up on the Saturday games next week.
They are the only team. Them and the Bears are the only 2 teams that don't have a single Pro Bowler.
Really?
Wait, who's the Pro Bowler from Atlanta?
Is it Pitts? I don't know, but they have somebody. Because I saw it earlier. The only 2 teams that don't have a Pro Bowler are the
It might be
Jags
like
and
a
the Bears.
lineman.
Doesn't Atlanta have a dope kicker?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Chinaman.
The Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on that squad, but he's not that good. Shit. The only thing he was really good at was when that parlor got shut up. They went to him. He was the only famous Asian person in Atlanta at the time. And he gave some great interviews for that. But other than that, he's not that great. Who else is a fucking Pro Bowler on this team?
Right guard Chris
I was
Lindstrom.
going to say.
There you go.
Nailed it, dude.
That's it.
Fair
Nailed
enough.
it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Speaking of the Falcons, they decided to keep playing this year for no reason. And
Love to
they
see
went
it.
7-10. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
Well, you have a good coach.
Blow up the team. He's not that good.
He's a good coach.
He's not that great.
Your team's trash.
You give me fucking. They are, but I'm saying. But if I had my choice of coaches, let's give me Sean Payton here. Let's figure it.
So the Falcons went
He's not
from
going to Atlanta.
The Falcons.
Out.
Went
No, he's not. I wouldn't go there either.
The Falcons went from the 5 pick to the 8th pick. It may not make a difference,
No.
but it can.
5 to 8.
It could
That's
make a
huge
difference. Yeah.
difference.
It could.
Depends on what you
fucking
need.
guys.
Depends
I
on
mean,
what you need.
We need everything. We need everything on this team.
Bryce Young, Will Levis, and C.J. Stroud are going to be off the board by then.
Yes, dude.
I
They're
would-
all gone. Yeah.
I don't think any of them are good enough to get a quarterback
I
and then
agree.
like let them
I
die.
agree. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like Justin Fields where you can justify or Trevor Lawrence like justify like letting them flail on an empty roster. Like those guys aren't good
Well,
enough.
I don't
The
trust
line-
anybody that's getting drafted in the first round this year.
None. None.
The offensive line for
Quentin
Atlanta's
Johnston.
not terrible.
Oh, you mean quarterback?
Quarterback,
Yeah,
quarterback.
Quarterback, yeah. Quarterback.
But how often do you? We've been
More
spoiled.
often than
We've
not.
been spoiled a little bit here recently with
Yeah.
people like Mahomes and Burrow coming out of
Well,
college.
even Trevor Lawrence.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's clearly a guy.
but he went
Yeah.
to a bad team. Like, as bad as the Bengals were, they're nowhere near as bad as, even now, Jacksonville sucks. Like, the Bengals, the Bengals had T. Higgins and what's his nuts? Who's the other receiver?
Jamar Chase.
No, before.
Jamar was the year after.
Boyd.
Tyler Boyd. Yeah, like, they already had a decent team. They signed Christian Kirk and all these guys came over this year.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville is this year what fucking Burrow's team was in his rookie year, right? Jacksonville, you got to think they're going to go after a couple of receivers now, right? In
We'll
the draft.
see.
Like, their receivers are not good.
And there'll be there's some dudes down there that'll fall down there.
And they got Ridley come next year.
Oh, that's right, dude.
Calvin Ridley,
Ridley is a one. He's a good fucking receiver, dude.
he'll be a good number 2 there. They need to take Quentin Johnson in the first round if they can get their hands on him. Or
well,
somebody.
with Christian Kirk, because they paid a lot of money for Christian Kirk.
He's a good slot guy. That's what he's done his entire career.
Right.
Why
So,
try to get him to do something that he hasn't ever done?
He's not, but I think Ridley's good enough. I think they'd go after something else.
Maybe. I mean, they can.
tight ends.
They can get what's his nuts? The guy at the Texans said today that he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild, so he's gonna.
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks. He's a good fucking two/slot guy too.
Yeah.
They might need some linemen too. Lawrence was getting harassed.
Look,
against
he was.
The
Yeah.
Bengals have
Or
proven you don't
Thursday,
need a
Friday.
line. You just need a great quarterback.
Great quarterback in a
True.
run game.
Yeah.
Jesus
and
Christ.
one of the best fucking receivers we've ever seen in our life. Jamar Chase is
Right.
pretty good.
Yeah. Bills game. I think we were all watching it. Opening kickoff was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen in sports.
I think it was staged. I think. I think that Josh Allen's a crisis actor.
It's not. It wasn't staged, but you know how they give like a terminally ill cancer kid a run in practice.
Sure, I would have said that, but the Patriots were genuinely playing for
Yeah,
a
a
playoff
playoff
spot.
spot,
And I had so much money on this Bills game that I'm like, why do they keep trying so hard? And I was like, oh, shit, they're playing for a playoff spot. Because I had this on every single thing. I was like, Bills by 50. They ended up covering, and it was fine. But that was an awesome game to watch, and it was a blast. Congratulations to the Bills. However, they get boned now because it's going to be a coin toss with either the Bengals or them, depending upon if they all make it to the next round. And that's weird because, look, the Chiefs got beat by the Bills and the Bengals.
Also, potentially, wasn't there something about like a AFC Championship game that could be on like a neutral
That's-
field?
That's what it is, yeah. So
It'll be a coin flip. Yeah.
it'll be a coin flip, and it could go to a neutral field, which is going to fuck over one of these teams. And what is the neutral
I
field?
don't know.
Do we
That's a
know
good
where that's
question.
at?
They
I-
tried Indy, and I guess Indy declined.
Really?
That's kind of petty.
Which is stupid.
I would want the money. It's
yeah.
so much money, dude.
The city is probably not too happy about
No.
that. I'm thinking.
What about Dallas?
This time of year, fucking man, Miami and Jacksonville are both in.
And Tampa.
Arizona's where the fucking Super Bowl is going to be. They're not going to do that.
No.
Well, you'd like to play it somewhere where they could get to. Just play in Atlanta.
Yeah, a dome.
Atlanta or
Well, yeah,
Dallas,
there's not going to be any playoff games in Atlanta anytime
Right.
soon.
Just-
No.
And it's one of the best stadiums in the
It is,
league.
yeah.
Right.
If you're going to a playoff game in Atlanta, it's the SEC championship. That's about it.
Yeah.
It ain't a pro
or
team.
Or it's the Super Bowl and the Falcons aren't in it.
Yeah, exactly.
People are saying Vegas.
Ooh,
Whatever's
that'd be a fun one.
That
whatever's
would be
easy
nice to
to
rub it in.
Yeah, that'd be a fun
their
one.
face,
just
yeah.
whatever's easy to fly
Have
to.
the
Not
Chief-
even, yeah,
have the
easy to
Chiefs-
fly to, but somewhere you want to go to.
Have the Chiefs win the AFC Championship in the Raiders' home stadium. That would be nice. Although I don't think the Chiefs are going to win. I think it's going to be the Bucks or the Bengals.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it.
We'll do that tomorrow,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, yeah. Scrolling down here, Vikings and Bears. Bears ended up getting the first pick. There's a few people on Twitter who were hitting me up about the Fields thing. No, dude, he's the dude. Anybody who could survive in that, I feel like it's Gladiator on that team. If you make it out of there, because that was the worst team I've ever seen, and you just make it out alive, you deserve to start there. So I don't think the Bears draft quarterback. Probably trade or either that or go for Will Anderson.
So PFF has the Bears trading to the Colts, and the Colts taking Bryce Young first overall.
That's a great move, and that should happen.
And the Colts would give up, obviously, their number 4 pick,
Yep.
and they would also probably give up an extra second-round pick, if I had to guess, or maybe a third round or something like that.
Second is usually what
Gotta
it is.
get a second.
Yeah.
They would probably get a king's ransom for that. Like
Yeah.
maybe
Yep.
even next year's
I mean,
first.
I really do think Bryce Young is going to be a good NFL quarterback.
So do I.
But to go from they're 5 now, I think, right? So they would go from 5 to 1. That would
It's a big
It's,
jump.
it's 4 to 1, but yeah,
I think it's
either way,
5, right?
it's as it
I think
stands
this
right
is
now.
wrong.
Well, maybe it's possible. Yeah. Either way, the two best, Bryce Young and Levis, will be off the board by then.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you can't take that chance.
I do take back what I said earlier where we don't trust any quarterbacks. I do trust Bryce Young. Bryce Young's the one dude where I'm like, I think he'll be fine.
Just his composure.
Yeah.
Composure,
is
man.
the thing that does it for me. I mean, he's a little shorter than I'd like him to be, but
Not a thing anymore.
he's the one Alabama quarterback we've seen come out recently that didn't have like the three best wide receivers on earth, for his entire tenure.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I think
you saw him with both. You saw him with
Yeah.
great receivers, and then you saw him with this year, whoever was out there this year, and he was still great.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out as we scroll down here. Bengals, man, shit, they're on fucking fire, dude. They won again. Obviously, it wasn't close. Lamar Jackson, does he play in the playoffs?
No, he would be stupid to play in the playoffs.
I agree. Then what do you do with him?
He's just sitting out.
Everybody knows who he is and what he can do.
Yep.
Either pay him or let him go, man. If they franchise him, he should sit out. The way this
Well,
organization.
you're going to need something. You're going to need picks or a trade. They're not just going to let him go free without anything, right?
Sure, yeah, they'll have to trade him.
They'll have to trade him. And we saw what happened with Cleveland last year, right? They got a fuck ton of picks.
Well, he's what, restricted next year?
Who?
Lamar.
Yeah,
Or
you
would
can-
they just franchise
they
him?
would
You can
franchise
franchise him, yeah. You can franchise him. But that's the only thing you can do, or sign him to a deal. Either way, he's going to get paid. So, yeah, I mean, because the Ravens are playing the Bengals next week again. That's where this comes up. Texans was hilarious, obviously. Jets, Dolphins was the worst game I've ever seen in my entire life.
Fins up.
No.
I mean, the Texans won this game. They could have they could have gone for two and run the dumbest play of all time and intentionally lost the game.
Or just throw it at the back of the end zone.
Whatever. And the Colts would have dropped down to like the 6th pick by winning that game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that the other team that's in the hunt for the first quarterback in the draft, which is the Colts, which is the team you're fucking playing this week, and you beat them. Why would you fucking do that? It's
crazy.
You
And-
improved their position and fucked yours over.
And not only that, they're in the same division.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, Lovie Smith.
Lovie
definitely
Smith
did that on
fucked them.
purpose,
But
yeah.
what's dumber, them are playing the Chargers playing their starters in a meaningless game, in which two of their key guys got hurt in this.
A meaningless game against the fucking Broncos.
Yeah, where Bosa got it, and it's freezing cold. Bosa got hurt. I don't know if he'll be back. Williams doesn't look like he's going to be back. I saw that injury. I don't know if he's going to be back next week. It's your top wide receiver, and then you lose your top defender in a meaningless game. Who fucking coaches the Chargers?
I forget, but he's
That guy
bad.
should be fired.
Is it Staley?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. That fucking dummy. Oh, he's the one that called the timeout last year, too.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's gone, dude. Get him the fuck out of there. Meaningless.
Yeah, that's the rumors I've been hearing are that Sean Payton is going to the Chargers.
Oof, that'd be dirty.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's a great team. Shit.
I mean, look at what he did with Drew Brees and think about him with Herbert now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that'd be a really good situation for those guys.
Giants, Eagles, man. So I lost one fucking game this weekend. It was this.
We let him backdoor.
Literally. I mean, there was fucking, I don't know, a minute and a half left. I
We were up 16-0
lost
at
my,
one
and
point.
the spread was 7. So, and they won by 6. I was going to come on and talk shit about how awful Jalen Hurts was because he was terrible in this
He's
game.
rusty.
He's been out for 2 weeks. Minshew's been out
What
for
are you
2
talking about?
years.
He's been out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and he's
Either way,
got
Minshew's
a
been out
bad
for
shoulder.
Well, so here's the thing. The coach said after the game that he's really fucking hurt.
Well, he didn't say hurt. He said hurting, which is not the same thing, right?
Yeah, but they
Like, if
said
he's
he was
got-
having trouble throwing the football, which makes sense. He was 20 of 35. So before I was going to shit on him, I was unaware how hurt he was because he looked bad. It was 20 for 35 and he had a pick against the Giants B team in this game here. Is he going to be healthy enough for the playoffs is the problem for
got
the
2
Eagles
weeks
now.
The more concerning thing is Lane Johnson going to play.
Was he out too?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I don't like this Eagles team in the playoffs. This 49ers, though, was the next game. They just keep fucking rolling people. It's nuts, dude. Brock Purdy had 3 touchdowns.
Well, they
again
played
in this fucking game.
They played the Cardinals.
I understand, but this is 10 in a row now. They've won 10 fucking games in a row with the worst quarterbacks that God has ever created.
And they play in one of the worst divisions in football, right?
You shut your mouth. The Seahawks are in the playoffs, friend.
Yeah, they got 2 in, yeah.
They got 2 in, and they're playing each other next week. So that's it. They obviously beat the Rams. Baker Mayfield at the end of that.
There's a lot of fuckery going on this year with the scheduling and teams looking better. So in the NFL, you play your division, and you play an assortment of teams from your conference, but like primarily your games are from one conference. You play every team in one conference, and then you play every team in one conference in the AFC or the NFC, whichever the other conference is. So this year, the 49ers home conference out of division games were against the NFC South. Right?
Okay.
In the same way that the fucking Redskins, Giants benefited from playing some shitty teams, so did.
So is anybody in the NFC then any good? Like
The 49ers and the Eagles are fucking really good football teams, and they can.
We had the Packers as a dark horse on this show 2 weeks ago. They're not even in the fucking playoffs.
If Aaron Rodgers had started leading his team like he did 4 weeks ago at the beginning of the season, they would have won 12 or 13 games. It's not a bad team. He's a bad leader.
Yes, I agree.
He also said at the end of the game he's going to hold on to his jersey.
I saw that.
People are speculating whether or not it was the last game as a Packer.
Well, can I tell you what I thought because I was watching it live, and he was mic'd up, so you could hear it pretty clearly. And he goes, "No, I think I'm going to hold on to this one." I thought he meant because it was cold. I mean, it was fucking freezing, and he just didn't want to take off his jersey.
No, I think it's me and Joe Green kind of situation where that's for posterity because he's not coming back on that field again.
Do you guys think he's coming back?
No.
To the Packers or at all?
I don't know anything about Aaron Rodgers at this point.
His life is a mystery.
Yeah, he could do whatever.
Right.
I don't think I think he would be foolish to come back to the Packers. I think it would be a bad move for himself.
Because the Packers aren't a good team?
Because he doesn't want to do that. It's like you feel like because I'm a man, this is my responsibility, I should do that, but that's not how it worked out, is it? You put yourself in a situation where you know you're not going to be motivated to perform with a bunch of children because you're 40 years old now, and this is the result.
Yeah.
Go to a place, like go to fucking Vegas and play for the Raiders.
What if he went to the 49ers?
Either one of those
That
teams
would
would
be
be fine, right?
Because he went to Berkeley. He went to Cal.
Yeah, either one of those would be fine, but him and Green Bay right now just doesn't make sense. It's not about what's you want to. You only get so many of these years of your life, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like as much as I rag on the guy, he's in a shitty situation right there that he didn't want to be in the first place, and because he wanted to seem loyal or tough or like a whatever the fuck, he's persisted through these last couple of years, and he should have left a long time ago.
Well, he took the money. So
yeah, because if you're gonna fucking do it, you may as well take the money. He did it for 2 years before they gave him that new contract.
Can he get out of there and go to another team? How
He
does
can
that
opt out
contract?
they can basically trade him without a huge cap hit this year. Yes.
Or can he opt out on his own? Is he allowed to opt out?
I don't think
on his own?
I don't think there's an opt out. I
have no idea.
Okay.
Hold on, let me look.
I don't know if he was able to opt out.
Kind of
after a
walking
year.
out to Joshua Tree and never coming back.
Also a possibility.
Yeah.
And by Joshua
I mean, he would move to
Tree,
Austin.
Right, you mean
He'll be here.
on it in some steamy room.
Yeah,
full
he'll be
of-
down here, dude. He'll be on the podcast next week. Real quick here, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. A lot of money on tonight's games, but next week it is jam-packed. NFL playoffs are starting next week. They are Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for the first time ever because of the ratings dominance of the NFL. If they could put them on every single night of the week, like Bob said earlier, it would be football on Monday through fucking Sunday. Man, with gambling, it has completely changed the game out there. And if you're out there and just want to throw some money on and keep it on in the background, MyBookie.com is a blast to use, super easy. And the spreads are really fucking good there, and so are the golf odds. We'll start picking up the golf show here.
That'll be this week.
Soon, yeah, this week. Also,
College basketball as well.
College basketball as well is back. Missouri's pretty good this year.
We're ranked,
They're
baby.
ranked, so Bob's going to be amped.
Let's fucking go.
It's January.
Yeah, it is. It is.
He's mad because Missouri beat UCF.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, but it was kind of some bullshit.
Why? What happened?
A fucking miraculous last second heave.
Oh, that's awesome.
A three,
Even better.
a bank shot three to win the game.
Even better.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to any of these games, all of it, college basketball, NFL, playoffs, we'll be at the Waste Managements, all that shit, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. About $10 cheaper than StubHub. Super easy. All the back end is the same there. Let's say for next year here, if in your guts, where does Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers end up? We'll start with you, Holloway.
Oh, well, I think Tom Brady's going to win the Super Bowl and retire. And I think that,
Is that real?
yeah.
You really think the Bucks could win the Super Bowl?
I don't.
The NFC is wide open. Who knows?
He's been on so many teams that have won the Super Bowl that I didn't think had a possible chance of winning it.
That's true.
Like none of those teams. The one team that I thought could win the Super Bowl was the Randy Moss one where he got fucking bounced in the first round.
Oh yeah,
Or the undefeated team.
the undefeated team. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either one of those. It's like I don't know, man. But no, I don't. The one that makes the most sense is
Raiders.
Rodgers going to the 49ers and maybe
Brady going to the
maybe
Raiders.
Brady going to the Raiders. Yeah.
Look, Brady is also from that area. The 49ers.
Yeah, Northern
He
California.
is. Yeah.
So either one.
But he's more like Rodgers is kind of a hippie, so I think he's Northern California would make sense for him. Tom Brady is a Republican. He's not going to California.
But Tom Brady is like also a tech bro.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. My only
He
thing
could go to
here.
he could go to the Colts. Indianapolis has a burgeoning tech scene.
Yeah, exactly. But with the Raiders, dude, like looking at this team, the wild shit to me is you've got probably the second or first best wide receiver in football, in Devontae Adams. He even had a great year with a shitty quarterback.
Like a
Vegas
top 5
would be
running back.
a pretty good fit for his new girlfriend as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs he led the league in rushing this year, so you got a great running back. You got a great tight end, which he loves tight ends.
So does
you got Josh McDaniels
So
back.
does Vegas trade the 7th pick to Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers?
No,
Oh, we're
I
talking
think
about
I think Brady's going to the
Brady.
Raiders, and Brady has an opt out, so he can just go. if
He can do whatever
to.
he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
so,
can leave.
So you draft Brady, you sign Brady as a free agent, and you take. Right now they're projected to take C.J. Stroud.
Oh no! Take Brady. Take Brady.
Well, but C.J. Stroud's not the kind of guy that's going to start first day anyway.
Take both.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let Stroud sit behind Brady.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad for a couple years.
I think every Ohio
a
State
year.
man needs to learn from a Michigan man, personally.
Not in college. Brady was terrible in college.
Got that ring, bro.
He only had one. No, he never won anything.
He was backup.
He was a backup then.
Yeah.
Philly's going to have.
Brady's got plenty of rings. You don't have to add an extra one for free.
Philly's going to have the 10th pick because they got that pick from the Saints. So they can
Could be
take.
Are they
lower.
really?
Could be lower if we beat them last
They could
week,
take
but-
Quentin Johnson.
Good Lord.
Or what they will probably do is take an offensive tackle.
Yeah, I don't
you
think we
would
need another receiver right now.
No.
Yeah.
You need your center's
tackle.
great. If Lane's back, your right tackle's great. Your left tackle's great. You need maybe a fucking left guard.
We're pretty
I don't know how much. Like you don't want to take a first round pick on a guy that's going to be your backup for depth.
No.
So you probably take another shit. You don't even need any edge rushers. What the fuck?
Maybe a
Linebacker, maybe
not a running back at 10.
not a
If
10.
B.J.
yeah.
Robinson was
Just
around,
take. I mean,
No,
you
10.
got to just take a wide receiver.
They've got him
then.
taking Brian Branch from Alabama, who's the best defensive back in the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
But he's
There
a
you go.
safety. You don't take a safety in the fucking first half
can.
of the first round.
Yeah,
That's-
like Tyrann Mathieu back in the day.
That didn't really pay
that's,
off.
yeah, no.
Well, it
It
paid
didn't
off
pay
for
off to the second
eventually.
team.
Yeah.
If you're the 49ers, dude, and Aaron Rodgers is out there, your
well, he's
team
not
is
out
fucking
there.
loaded.
His contract is they can get out of it after next season in the 24 off season if they want it. But both
Rodgers
sides,
or Packers?
Both sides.
Okay.
Also,
they
if
wanted
Brock
to.
Purdy wins the Super Bowl, you're bringing back Brock Purdy.
You think so?
Nah.
Yeah.
That's
I think you
it's a
upgrade.
heartless business.
It is. I think you upgrade.
He's been good.
But Brock Purdy would be, I'm sure, more than happy to sit behiund Rodgers
I mean, dude, fucking
for a year or two.
If he
Garoppolo-
lights it up as Super Bowl MVP,
Garoppolo got them to the Super Bowl and was essentially Kyle Shanahan mismanagement from being Super Bowl MVP, and like they were ready to move on from him like a year later. And then they had to-
Purdy's
with a
been
guy
good.
with a guy
Purdy's
who
been
played
good.
11 games in college.
right.
That's who they were moving on to.
Yeah.
So
Like it's heartless, man.
Yeah,
It's a
Yes,
ruthless
Jimmy
business.
G has been bad. Brock has been good.
All right,
That's
but
the difference.
Here's the other difference. Aaron Rodgers has been better.
Yeah.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
You're not going to
But
say no
do
to it.
you want to deal with that bullshit? Because then it's just a clash of two egos.
Yeah, I
'Cause
get
you have
that.
Shanahan
and what do you
got
got to give
Rodgers.
up for him? I mean, San Francisco's going to have a shitty. I guess they could trade their first round pick.
Honestly, yeah. Here's the real thing. The Niners should be the ones going after Brady.
I agree with that.
Well, if you don't have to give up anything, if you're.
Yeah.
Again, Shanahan doesn't want that ego either.
I don't think he minds. I mean,
I
look,
do.
it-
Shanahan wins
Does he
the
not
Super
want
Bowl?
the narrative of finally winning a
that's
Super Bowl,
exactly,
but
I
it's
was
with
just
Brady?
gonna say, yeah, dude, that's the first time he would win the Super Bowl.
Because then it's not his Super Bowl.
Yeah, if he wins this year, it is completely Shanahan.
Well,
Right,
this
yeah.
year, but if he doesn't,
If he wins with
then
Brady
you go
next
after,
year.
I think he trusts his system, and you plug someone in.
He doesn't want to be like his buddy Sean
Yeah.
and just bring in a gunslinger
Nope.
to finish the roster.
Nope.
All right.
I think he would. Fuck yeah, it's a ruthless business. I think he would for sure.
Yeah, but it's egos at play too. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying Shanahan and Rodgers for sure would clash heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Tua is not cleared to play yet, so he's probably going to be out of that Bills game.
More Skylar Thompson.
And then fucking Mostert has a broken thumb, so it doesn't look great for the Dolphins. I'm sure that spread will be huge tomorrow.
The 49ers don't
NFL
even have
show.
a first-round draft pick. That means it's super unlikely
That Rodgers.
that Rodgers will end up there.
Right, so
'Cause
it would have to be Brady.
What personnel are you going to trade there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd have to be Brady.
Philly's got 2 first-round picks.
Rodgers of the Eagles.
Philly's got the
Need a
10th
quarterback.
pick.
Yeah. Because what if Jalen Hurts chokes again in the first round?
They've got the 10th pick, and then
What would be the second
whatever, however they finish
Right,
the
but
season.
only because of the regular season record. But what if he doesn't win a playoff game? Who would be their first matchup?
Yeah,
you know?
we're not going to move on. It's probably the winner of. It's the lowest seed out of
Yeah, the
Yeah,
lowest seed
there's no
winner.
bracket. It's whatever. Yeah, they should reshuffle.
So it'll be. Hold on, we can make some educated guesses here.
little predictions.
Yeah. Would it be the Cowboys?
if they beat the Bucks, no, because that's
Yes,
It would be?
Yeah,
Well, who's 7?
or if the Bucks win, or it'll be the winner.
Oh, the Giants are going to
If
be
the
Vikings.
If the Giants win, it'll be the Giants. If the Buccaneers win, it'll be the Buccaneers.
I wouldn't want to play the Giants.
If the Seahawks win, it'll
we're
be the
fine against the
Seahawks.
Giants.
The Philly will whip the Giants' ass. They'll run them off the field.
I would be more worried about the Bucks. Like
Everybody
I
should
don't
be
know,
worried about the
man.
Bucks.
I mean,
it's you don't want to fuck with that shit.
it's
Yeah.
when you start playing interdivision shit. Like, I mean, that's tough, dude.
Who is the 7th seed? Is it the
It's
Giants?
the Buccaneers. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's the Seahawks. They were last.
Oh, Seahawks, yeah.
So the Seahawks are playing.
Right, they were last.
49ers. They're playing the 49ers, but that spread is 10. 49ers are going to run them off the
Yeah, what are
fucking.
the Seahawks?
There's no way.
Hey, give Pete Carroll some
no
credit, man.
way.
Dude, you never know.
No.
The
Division-
Seahawks could do it.
49ers
No, they
look
can't. They
nasty,
can't. They
dude.
can't.
Jim Harbaugh is about to do what Pete Carroll did back in 2004, by the way, which is like, oh, NCAA sanctions are coming. I'm out. You're not gonna suspend me. I'm going to.
What
fucking
was that? He
Denver.
like film shit.
Who?
No, he bought allegedly he bought a kid a burger at some local spot and then lied to the NCAA about it.
He also offered to adopt all their bastard children.
right,
Sure
in order to not
like-
have abortions.
No
I feel like you
Abortions,
should
yeah.
allow dudes to buy.
In
other
my
dudes'
Right.
food
yeah, in
without
my
it being a
opinion,
big
that with
deal.
this college bullshit, even though I hate Michigan and I obviously hate Harbaugh, dude, with the NIL money that's going around, buying a kid a burger, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It was like the Terrell Pryor shit with the he
Tattoos.
got free tattoos.
Well, the crime is more, I think, lying to the police, so to speak.
Yeah, but that's isn't that kind of sinister?
But also the NCAA
Yeah.
is just trying to hold on for the little power that they have.
Yeah.
It's
not
over.
much.
It's over for them
over
pretty
soon. Yeah, it's over real goddamn soon there. We'll flip on over here to college basketball. New rankings are out. Houston is number 1. You guys good with that?
Yep.
Well, I mean, Purdue lost to
Purdue
Rutgers
lost.
again.
Houston.
But they beat Ohio State, and Ohio State's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you
Ohio
who
State's fun.
I'll tell you who I low key think is the
Bryce Sensabaugh is really fucking
Oh
good.
yeah, and they put up points.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They lost again though.
but they can't close.
no, they can't close. They lost to Maryland yesterday. The coach can't close though. It's Holtman. They need a new coach there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You don't like Holman?
I don't.
They've been a little down since Thad left. Like, I mean, the EJ Liddell team was good.
Yeah, they always run up and they're always up, blowing
kinda-
people out, and then they
Kinda
just.
chased that out of town.
Well, Thad had some other issues that they don't talk about in real
Okay.
life. So.
Well, he's at Butler now.
He is, and I'm happy for it because we have Butler's coach, and it turned out to be even. It looks like, but Thad had some other problems there.
Okay.
The
You
bottle.
can't get into it.
The bottle.
I'll tell you who I low key think is the best team in college basketball right now.
Who's that?
Alabama. Alabama is fucking terrifying.
You don't think it's
they
Houston?
beat the brakes off of Kentucky.
I think
That's
Houston.
what they do, man. They fucking fire threes, and it works sometimes.
No, this is
It works
different.
a lot of times.
The roster looks different than it has in the past. Like, they're long
I know.
and they are.
They're gonna
fucking
win the
beefy.
SEC. But
Did
it's
you
either
wa-
them or Tennessee.
Did you watch that Houston game?
I did not
Like
catch
Houston shot 50% from free throw line, and they shot like 20% from 3 and lost by 6 points. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like I think Houston's probably a little bit. Well, we'll see. It's
No.
It's
Look,
January.
I think Houston is probably the best team in the country. But if I had to pick a tournament champion winner, like just if I had to see if I could imagine someone blowing through the tournament, it would be Alabama.
you don't want to run into a
most-
team that shoots threes like that.
the
in
most
tournament.
talented team in the country is UConn, but Dan Hurley is just a complete liability. He's unhinged.
Yeah.
Do they have
it.
depth?
He's unhinged.
He's always been.
they're
He's
super
been
deep,
unhinged
yeah.
his entire
But
life.
He will.
He just doesn't
he'll
know how
just
to
pick
run
up
the
T-
rotations or what?
No, it's like he has problems with refs a lot, and he pisses off the refs to the point where it's like, oh yeah, there's a noticeable difference between foul calls.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the coach's expectation is. Like, you can just be a cunt the whole game and expect it to get called fairly. It's still a human being.
And by the way, if there's one sport where you can completely get away with calling an unfair game, it's
yeah.
fucking college basketball. Because the refereeing's already so terrible that you can't break Hanlon's razor. Do you know what I mean? You can never assign malice.
Yeah.
It's impossible because it's so bad at all times.
You could also call, in the NBA, you could call a foul in almost every play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. We haven't heard any major gambling out of college basketball. Any
Yet.
but it's coming, right?
Yeah, it's
like
coming.
It feels like it's coming
Sure does, doesn't it?
because they get
There's so many games.
there's so
know.
many games.
I
The
know.
refs in fucking college basketball get pissed off at individual coaches and call shitty games. You could tell.
Oh, and by the way, like
and in
the-
road games, sometimes you get fucked over. It's like if they're willing to do that just out of spite, what are they willing to do for money?
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, when like Henry Hill and shit, when they were fixing college basketball games, it wasn't Len Bias. It wasn't North Carolina and Michael Jordan and fucking Dean Smith and shit. It was like
shitty
Holy
games.
Cross and like fucking tiny schools.
Holy cross. Sorry, I just like to do that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing that. A bunch of people DM me, D'Anthony and I, about UNC Wilmington and how amped they are about them. They're 14-3. Tickets are going for $115 at Trask. That's crazy.
Best
man.
team in North Carolina. No.
That's what people are saying. So no
funny.
lie. They're like, hey, will you shout them out on the show? And I was like, for sure. 14-3.
Many women pregnant there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
NCW is where it's at. It's a lot of fun.
Kind
Nice.
of you think Coach
nice.
K is a little disappointed in Shire?
Yes. So a lot of people are talking about how shitty Duke is. They're hanging in. They're 24. They're still
fine.
technically ranked.
They're okay.
They're 12-4, but everybody's saying UNC Wilmington's the best team in North
But
Carolina.
this isn't
It's just-
college football. It doesn't matter if you come into the tournament with fucking 10 losses, dude.
Right. Like
It doesn't
UNC
matter.
last year
Yep.
was an 8 seed.
Doesn't
and
matter.
Was on the bubble the entire year.
Who
Got
did
to the national championship.
Texas end up hiring?
No one yet.
No one yet.
It's just an
Okay.
interim.
So Beard, because Beard is gone.
Yes.
He gone.
Who's their
which
old
we
coach,
knew-
that dick that started at Clemson? What's his name?
Rick Barnes.
Yeah.
He's,
Where's
He's at Tennessee, and they're
Yeah.
they're a
They're
favorite for
getting
the
good again
SEC
now,
right
right?
now.
they're
No, yeah,
Tennessee's
them in
been
Alabama.
really good for years under Barnes.
Yeah.
He's a good coach, but he never makes any.
He made the
waves.
Final Four with UT once. He
Yeah.
he recruited Kevin Durant to UT, but they didn't do anything that year.
They lost to Swaggy.
He was one and done. He was
Swaggy
out.
P.
Yeah. I mean, he was a good coach at UT. UT was having this like situation at the time. This was like right when I moved here, where they fucking hated Mac Brown and fucking hated Rick Barnes because
And
they'd
those
always.
were their glory years.
I know, and because they were like winning but not enough, and
Barnes was a good coach at Clemson too. It was the only time their basketball teams were relevant ever.
yeah.
No, Clemson's good this year. Clemson might win the ACC this year.
Yeah, but they're not ranked, so that tells you all you need to know about the ACC this year, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it was bad last year. It's better this year. I mean, Pitt's okay.
You think they're gonna? Virginia's in the ACC, aren't they?
Yeah, Virginia's good this year.
They're gonna beat Virginia.
Virginia's really good this year.
Yeah, but Clemson is good.
We'll see.
They're in the
They're
mix.
27th right now, just out of the top 25.
Well, they'll obviously make it with this many fucking teams.
Well, yeah, it's like it's up now. It's like 82 teams or some shit now. Or
No,
84?
Still 68.
68.
68.
They're
that's it.
talking
You
about
have to
expanding
play
it,
in,
and they
so-
really should
Don't
not do
do
that.
that.
Like it's at its fucking limit, man. Like, I guess maybe
Because then, why have a regular season?
right. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because it'll be pointless. By the way, breaking news here for Warriors. Reggie Bush got elected to the College Football Hall of Fame.
They
Congratulations.
should give him his Heisman back now
No
that
shit,
NIL
dude.
is
Right.
legal.
No shit.
Oh, and also, I mean, UCLA. That's the team to look out for.
Basketball
in
wise?
the tournament.
What
yeah.
are they ranked?
I think they're top 10, but they're starting to feel it.
Why is Gonzaga losing so many games this
They
early in the
stink.
season?
Because
They're
they're
just not good.
stink.
now they've got. So last year and the year prior, they had experience and athleticism, and this year they only have experience.
Yeah, they don't
That's
have
why.
Jalen Suggs
Yep.
or our boy.
Or Chet.
God damn
Still
it,
got
dude.
Timmy.
I still think Jalen
Timmy
Suggs
stinks.
might
He's
be-
gonna win. He might be like in contention for Player of the Year, but he's not good.
They're not even the best team in their conference. St. Mary's is better than
San
Gonzaga.
Francisco's also.
San Francisco's great. I've been on San Francisco for years. All right, I've been talking about them since we started our college basketball show.
Yeah.
They seem to make the tournament every 4 years, something like that.
They're an institution now.
USF,
they are.
I believe, has a
Powerhouse.
old-timey national title.
Also, San Francisco won a natty.
That's
Yeah,
what
they
I'm saying.
did, and it was like it wasn't that long. It was like in the 80s, wasn't it? 87 or some shit.
No, it
No,
was like
like
the 60s.
50s.
Yeah.
Was it the 50s?
Yeah.
I remember because I used to walk by the headquarters for their university
Yeah.
all the time, and they have a fucking thing that says former national champs.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it the first time. I'm like, that had to be a while back, right?
It was. It
But
was
you
like
never know in
50s,
basketball.
60s.
Wilt
Fucking,
didn't
Yeah.
go there, right?
No.
they do have some famous
I
alumni.
think he
though.
might have.
Did he transfer? I don't
Or
know.
did he play for the Warriors? Was it? He had a San Francisco connection.
He played for the Philly Warriors.
I forget what it
think.
was. Real quick, we'll switch on over to mixed martial arts here, Giorgio. Jake Paul just signed with the PFL.
Let's go.
Is he going to fight Nate Diaz? And is this a full MMA or is this boxing as well?
Bill Russell went to San Francisco.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah.
All right, the quick synopsis
And Casey
on
Jones.
the Jake Paul MMA signing.
And
He's
Bill
signed with the
Cartwright.
Professional Fight League, which is now as the third best league in the U.S.
Who's second?
Bellator.
Okay.
As far as promotions, there's quite a few good fighters who fight for the PFL. They usually do a season-long competition, and the winner of the weight class gets $1 million. Jake Paul is doing a different thing, which is a super fight organization where he co-promotes with the PFL and his promotion.
He gets a
MVP,
percentage.
and then the headliners get 50% of the pay-per-view, and that's like his way of like giving it back to the fighters. I don't know if that's everyone on the main card splits that within 50% or
But he's also got a
just-
percentage of the PFL now. So he doesn't
Is
have
he
to.
an owner?
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily have to fight, but he will fight.
He will fight. Most
Well, it'll bring a
likely-
lot of eyeballs if he fights Nate Diaz.
I don't think he would fight Nate Diaz in the PFL.
I think I think he would. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll want to box Nate Diaz because if he gets on the ground with him, Nate Diaz will pull him.
Well, he
apart.
offered him a 2-fight deal to box first and then fight in MMA. This was before his
6 months
announcement-
later, right?
This was before his announcement of signing with Professional Fight League. Yeah, I mean, let's give him a fighter. Let's see what happens. I think this moves the needle on Jake Paul again and makes it kind of interesting.
Makes
I don't
PFL
know.
interesting.
I don't know if you want to give him an old kind of washed up superstar. I don't really know if that's the route with some weight advantage or disadvantage.
Probably want
or
a
maybe-
striker.
Maybe
Not
you just
somebody's gonna take him
just
down.
give him somebody in the PFL and get a chance to fight Jake Paul. But I don't know if that does the numbers pay-per-view wise. So we're kind of in an interesting position. Nate Diaz is the front runner for who he's going to fight. We'll see what Nate does with that. Whether he accepts
I think he's
or
gonna have
not.
to wait though, because Nate is just Nate. So I think between he'll probably fight Tommy Fury. He'll beat Tommy Fury.
Who?
Jake.
Oh, well, the interesting thing about that, so I was listening to Bisbing this morning, and he said he thinks Jake Paul is now done with boxing altogether.
It doesn't do numbers
No.
anymore. He
Yeah,
can't
he
fight
beat it.
opponents.
He
nuts.
beat everybody. He's the world champion of boxing.
Yeah,
He's
Beat every-
undefeated.
Beat
He
every
fought-
Him
Bobo.
and Rocky Marciano.
He
It's
fought-
the only two undefeated
He
fighters.
fought 6 people that had never boxed a day in their goddamn life and beat him.
Bring
I'm gonna,
Muhammad Ali's dead body.
I'm gonna
Let's go.
challenge an old lady to a fucking sprint after the show and then say I'm the fastest motherfucker on earth.
You demand that the
Should,
Olympics
dude.
let you
Yeah.
in, right? You just keep racing.
You can race Lizzo and
Yeah,
lose.
yeah, Lizzo's going to win that. But with that though, I think he's right. His reasoning was, look, he prefaced it by saying, I don't want to be a Jake Paul hater. He just said, I think it's run its course as far as he doesn't want to fight real boxers. Tommy Fury would be a real boxer, so yeah.
Sort of.
He's like a.
He's a real
Instagram
boxer the same way that Billy Ripken was a real baseball player.
So that's what
You know
Joe
I mean?
Rogan said, by the way, on that
Yeah.
podcast. He said
Yeah, just
he's
if
awful.
you want
He
to
brought
know
up
this take,
Billy
go watch
Ripken.
that.
That's a weird.
So with that, he said the numbers aren't doing well as far as pay-per-view buys. He's correct in that. I think the last fight was maybe 62,000 pay-per-view. Wasn't good. I think we bought it here to do a live watch.
Yeah. PFL is also ESPN. So
Oh, they own that.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
do.
shit.
PFL's been pretty interesting. They've done a number of Grand Prix tournaments. Our buddy won one.
Yeah.
Sean
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
O'Connell.
they have the smart cage. They
Yep.
have like advanced statistics that pop up.
What is the smart cage?
They just have a bunch of random numbers all around.
It's like the
Tells you, like,
StatCast
yeah.
Apple baseball broadcast, but for fighting.
Okay. Are you interested in that at all? Would you like to see him in MMA?
People are going to talk about it on the internet. Part of my job is to talk about this on the internet. We are here on the
We're here
internet
talking about the
this
PFL
on the
right
internet.
now.
That's true. We're going to talk about your beard missing or no?
It's coming back.
Okay, it is.
Yeah, so he got the mange. That's what happened. And we had to put him down.
From diving in the minge.
Was that what it is?
No, it's from
Was it wrestling?
No,
Wrestling?
I thought I could have had some funk, and it was just a bruise.
Funk.
And,
Bacteria.
Yeah.
Like
a skin
MRSA or
infection.
Ringworm.
some shit.
But it wasn't. I'm all good.
Had
You
you
ever,
try-
beardless.
you ever done wrestling before?
No.
People used to get MRSA in the Army all the time
die.
because they're fucking
They used
disgusting.
to get MRSA all the time in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers locker room.
From the carpet.
Yeah.
Was it the carpet?
Yep.
Did it match the drapes?
I think it was Greg Schiano.
Was it? Oh, God.
I think you got to be careful. We're alive here. He's gonna sue you for fucking defamation.
No,
no, I
the
didn't give
Bucks.
nobody.
Dude, the Bucks had a MRSA problem when Schiano was the coach.
They did. Penn State had
So what do you think
had
he
a
was
problem when
dragging
he
his
the coach
fucking
there,
beanbag
too.
across dudes or what?
Possibly. Who
Dirty
knows?
knows.
Allegedly.
Fucking
I
sack.
guess.
Yeah, who
I don't
fucking
know.
knows there? And then we'll close this out here. Titans just fired 4 assistants, including the offensive coordinator.
Go ahead and fire Vrabel while you're at it.
Vrabel's good.
I know, but
They just don't have a quarterback.
He's wasted there. That team fucking sucks.
I agree. Let him go somewhere else and party.
Go to Denver. They're looking pretty good.
Curry's going to come back and practice. Might play on Tuesday for the Warriors. Still a little too early for me to give
Do
a
you know
shit
how
about basketball.
little people care about the NBA?
I just said that.
The top 100 Nielsen ratings came out from
Sure
last
did.
year. 0 NBA games.
91 of them were football games.
Yep. 2 of them were NCAA games that were UNC.
Yep. Which is why you're going to see Monday night's playoff games this year, because they can't get enough of it, and they're canceling
Also,
scripted series and everything else.
The NBA regular season just sucks ass.
And
It's too-
NBA
it's
fans
too
also
long.
don't watch the games.
they don't. They don't. They just tweet about it and shit.
It's
Yeah.
just it's whatever happens in the off season, whatever happens off the court.
Yep.
Yeah.
NBA fans don't actually watch the sport.
Yeah, it's
well,
weird.
it's too many games. It's 81. It's baseball, and I think the NBA.
At least
'cause even-
baseball fans watch baseball.
Right.
Yeah, but it's 162 games.
Here's the thing that baseball has over basketball in terms of why it's more watchable, even though there's so many fucking games, is because there are different pitchers every day. So there's a new angle to the game every day. But with NBA, and there's still, it's getting less, but there's relative playoff scarcity, right? With the NBA, everyone gets in. You basically know who's going to get in, and you definitely know, usually, it's been weird the last couple of years actually, but there's usually like 3 teams that have a shot to
And
win.
it's weird too. You'll see NBA fans shit all over college basketball fans since like we're not competition, man.
Right.
Yeah, and then but everybody will suck LeBron's dick, and that's kind of the tweets or all the posts and everything that I see. To me, there's just too many fucking games in the NBA to care about.
It has been a crazy season though. Everyone's going off.
Yeah,
People have scored like 50, 60 points regularly.
All the stars are doing great. I mean, Jokic is on his way to winning a 3rd MVP right now, just putting up.
Donovan Mitchell scored 70
Yeah.
fucking 71 points
71,
last
yeah.
week, but it happened on the day that Hamlin got injured, so
I mean-
nobody talked about it.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Luka had a 60-point triple-double.
Yes,
that he did.
Luka is apparently also like a defensive first team possibility
Luka's
now. Like he's
high usage though.
he's going Super Saiyan.
You know how people used to bitch about James Harden?
Yeah.
The Rockets.
yeah.
Luka's
a little bit more endearing, I guess.
They just need to find a fucking way to make those games matter. Because I was thinking about this the other day, like because Missouri is relevant again, and college basketball is always my favorite regular season of any sport because every game matters, but like in college football, but no game will sink you, unlike in college football. So like I was watching this week for Missouri, for example, we were at Arkansas on the road, a top 15 team, and then at home against Vanderbilt. Both those games are huge. We lost to Arkansas, which sucked. Like I wanted to win, but that didn't sink our season. But that Vanderbilt game at home ended up being closer than it should have. And it's like, dude, if you lose this fucking game, like that is a brutal setback.
There's stakes, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
In every game, there's stakes.
but in college, it's always like that, and half of the fan base watches it just because of the uniform.
Right.
Their they don't give a fuck about what the fuck's going on sometimes. In the NBA, you need 2 things to get good ratings. You need stars, obviously, is the first one, and 2, there's got to be a fucking narrative. There's got to be a story. Kobe's trying to do this. Jordan's trying to get past the Pistons. Whatever the fuck, right? It's not like that anymore. Why hasn't ESPN and the NBA been talking constantly all year about the Celtics and how this is their year? Like, oh, they got their championship experience last year. Now they're primed to win it. Who's weaving the narratives? You know what I mean?
I don't know. But I will say,
all you hear
Haven't
about
they
is
been struggling though?
not sure.
they've been up and down.
But I'll say this: I think it also has to do with gambling. You cannot bet on NBA games. Every night is completely different.
I think the best thing to do is bet player props. I don't like betting.
I agree,
game
but
lines.
you've got to be pretty goddamn experienced to know how to do that on a nightly basis, and who they're going up against and all that other shit. Like, it's a fun thing. Like, my bookie tonight is doing a fun thing they're doing squares. Remember old school squares? Like
Yeah.
when you go to Super Bowl parties and shit,
Yeah.
they're doing that for the tournament tonight.
The NBA is just weird to
for the
gamble on.
championship.
I mean, I still gamble on it, but it's weird to gamble on because you don't know who is like actually wants to be there that night.
Yes,
Right.
And
It's
that's
like, oh,
my
I'm not
problem
really
with
Or
feeling it
what
tonight.
rotation the coach is going to run that night. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and me personally, I think because I look at ratings all the time for all this shit. I think that is why the ratings are the way they are. It didn't used to be like that. I just think the sports that are more gambled on, I would rather bet on college basketball than the NBA every
Yeah.
fucking night.
And I mean, it's a total crapshoot. Like Phoenix has won like one of their last 10 games.
Yeah,
They're in like a nosedive.
they just
Yes.
don't care. Yeah,
And the other thing too is like with the NBA about not caring, the stakes are so low. Like, does it ever even feel like there's a race for the 1 seed?
no.
And
Because
it's
the
like,
Warriors don't give a shit if they have the one seed.
Think about the difference between the last 3 weeks of the NFL versus the previous 3 weeks of the NFL.
Yeah.
So like the last six weeks, the last 3 weeks have been notably different, and I bet the TV ratings would reflect that because shit's on the line now. And in baseball, to your point, there aren't a whole lot of casual baseball fans. People that watch it. They like
Right.
it. But even during a baseball season, despite the fact that it's 162 games, every 3 to 4 days there's a new story being told. You know what I mean? It's like the rubber game is a fucking thing.
Right.
And everyone's
mean?
dad gets home from work, throws on the baseball
Yeah.
game,
Even if
sits
it's
in
just in the
like his
background,
lazy boy chair, and just kind
I
of
don't
goes
think
to sleep.
I don't think people put basketball on in the background because squeaky shoes are fucking annoying as shit. Honestly, like if you find a real basketball fan and then ask their wife what the most annoying thing about them is with regard to sports, and they'll say listening to basketball sneakers on the fucking court. It sucks. But yeah, there's no stakes.
I actually go to
There's-
sleep to it. But
There's 30 teams in the NBA. 20 of them get into the fucking playoffs. Even if
Yeah,
4 of them get eliminated in the playoff game, in the 4 playoff games.
and now they have those playing games.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's 20 people total technically get into the playoffs. 4 get eliminated during the playoffs. So just as many people get into the playoff. More people get into the playoffs than don't.
Yeah.
So where are the stakes exactly?
And then even then, unlike in any of the other sports, hockey, baseball, and the NFL, like I guess college football is similar to the NBA in this way too, usually, except this year. But like all the other sports, dude, just punch your ticket, and who knows? Who knows what'll happen
Yeah.
in the playoffs?
Yeah.
also, speaking of hockey, shouts to Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Oh, did he do it?
Well, he's at 8'10" or something now.
I don't know, but either way,
2.5 years from now, he'll break Gretzky's record.
the whole reason I'm bringing this up is people
he
are
just got
saying,
by
is
Gordie
he
Howe.
is he the best player of all time? It's like, no, dude,
It's still Gretzky.
it's still Gretzky.
It's not
And
even
it's not even
close.
close.
Well, you know,
Gretzky would have the most points, I think, still with no goals.
Gretzky played. Yeah, that's true. He was a great distributor as well, but he played in an era where it was right at that point where they opened up the offense for the first time after years of everybody just getting fucking rocked all the time. And now all of a sudden, 2-line pass and was legal for a while, and fucking the hitting wasn't what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he got away with a lot of bullshit that these days, even today, in the weaker version of America, would get floored for.
And Gretzky never got hit that bad.
No.
Yeah, because he was smart.
But he
Well,
also-
they
but he-
had guys.
He won 4 chips with fucking the second best player of all time, Messier, before he even went out into all this. Like, people these days know him for the Kings or his coaching time with the Coyotes or his hot daughters, right? But
Hot Daughters?
Daughter.
Paulina
Paulina.
Gretzky, DJ's fucking girl.
Dustin
Oh,
Johnson's
fuck.
fiance.
Why?
Gretzky, you're talking about.
It's
Yeah,
baby
I thought you
mama.
meant Messier. Sorry.
oh no, I don't think he went to New York and he just got he looked like the Red Skull kind of, but with
He does. He's in
White
NHL
skin.
commercials now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the hot goalie for the Rangers? Was it Lundqvist?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lindquist, yeah.
He used to bring some titties out.
But yeah, Gretzky's definitely the best player ever.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
of this generation, Ovechkin's the best, and nobody's even
Also,
close to
Ovechkin's a
him.
dirty Russian.
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
He's a dirty Russian that hates Russia and vaccine mandates.
Yep.
So, and also cancel culture. So he went to our buddy Scott invited him to a Redskins game, and he wore an old school Redskins jersey to the game. And
He seems like a good
They
hang,
kept
actually.
asking him to change it so they could do some press with him. He's like, no, this is the jersey that I wore.
Yeah.
They,
I think
they
when
kept
he
trying
won
to give
this-
him a new Commander's jersey. He's like, I don't want that.
When he won the Stanley Cup, I think he was drunk for like a month straight.
Probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
he stormed the Capitol. He was a J6.
That's
too.
one of the most epic fucking parades of all time.
oh yeah.
Like, you know how you've been at parties or at the bar or something. You could see somebody's talking to you, but they're not there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what he looked like the whole time. And it's hard. He's a Russian.
Just autopilot.
He's Russian. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
Like,
him to get
how much did he drink and for how long to get to that state?
He
as
just
a
had
Russian?
vodka go through an IV.
I mean, he looks
Charlie
like
McDennis Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
he looks like a Russian prisoner who the Wagner forces drafted into their
Or
you know what I mean?
He looks like a guy that has a pet bear at home that he's friends with. Remember that? Have you seen that video where the guy's looking out through the window and the bear walks up next to him, puts his arm around him, and looks out the window too? That's Ovechkin at
Yeah.
home. I
Yeah.
would think.
But yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning. We don't talk about hockey enough. I've
No,
fallen
he's the
off
man.
being a hockey fan.
It is. I same. I'll check back in during the playoffs. Here's my honest season, like in my real life here. We'll start off with college football rules everything to me, but only top 20. I'm going to watch the top 20 in college football, and then
You're just robbing yourself of enjoyment.
of joy. Yeah.
no, that's your show, not mine. And then the NFL, obviously, I will watch usually the first 5 games of the NBA season. The first 5, and I'm excited,
Then
and then I
Christmas
kind of
Day.
feel like I know who it is.
Then you watch the
Christmas
Christmas
Day
Day
got
matchups.
ruined
Yeah.
because the NFL played, so I didn't watch any of the Christmas games
Right.
this year.
Do you think,
and then I flip over to college basketball, and then I don't even start the NBA until the All-Star game.
And then Sunday golf.
Sunday golf.
Do you think?
Yes,
Do you think there's some
because I can gamble on it.
like most of the professional sports organizations where people were getting super political kind of got away from that, and now they're back to just playing their sports, except for the NBA? Do you think that's got something to do with it? Their ratings were in decline before that.
Yeah, I just think it's too many games, and people are sitting out more and more. Like Kawhi Leonard and those guys, like he'll play like every other night, and it's not interesting.
Well, he's the last champion other than fucking the Warriors,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
Yeah.
In the
think-
last like fucking 6 years, except for LeBron, who half people love him, half people hate him.
I think people
I don't think anyone was turned off by the NBA that would have watched the NBA anyway.
That's what I think too, but the ratings are fucked. So I don't
well,
know. It could,
another
I'm just saying it could be anything.
Like people are like, "Oh, look, keep your politics out of the NBA." It's like you weren't going to watch the NBA regardless.
Right.
I think a lot of people are bored by the current actual superstars.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
think
we need-
people-
as much as I hate to admit it, we need LeBron James to be in the NBA Finals.
Everyone's soft.
Yeah.
Or at least in the conference championship or something.
Like,
the,
people
the
don't-
best the guy who everybody thinks is one of the best players of all time needs to be involved in the playoffs for the sport to do well, you would think, right?
Yeah, like nobody cares. Nobody's excited by Jason Tatum.
Nobody's excited by Giannis.
Nobody's excited by Giannis. Nobody's excited by fucking Luka or Jokic. Like nobody gets excited for those
People in
dudes.
Dallas love
Luka.
But
Luka,
that's
but
just
that's
the-
it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
everyone gets excited
Even,
about Luka.
even in Denver, people don't give a fuck about Jokic. Just like, oh, he's got 27 points.
like,
and
yeah,
12
he's
rebounds.
awesome.
Okay,
He's the
cool.
best. I
But
love
his
him.
brothers are better.
Is it because
Yeah.
he's white? Is that what this
No,
is?
it's because he's
brothers
a
are
gangster.
better.
Yeah, he's like a fucking refugee, basically. But like all these dudes, I mean, the only one even remotely cool guy.
Embiid.
What?
Embiid.
No, I was gonna say
no,
Ja.
dude. Yeah, Ja Morant's the only cool guy.
Embiid is cool.
No, he's not cool.
He's
He's
fine.
not cool. There's nobody over 7 feet you want to hang out with on the reg.
No, he's in the air up there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, it's super weird.
It is. I think a lot of their fans are just bored by the stars right now.
I agree with that. This is the same thing with some of the problems that UFC has had in the past.
Yeah.
Personalities matter in sports. It's a fucking television
Well,
show.
the biggest personality in the UFC is Dana White,
Stop. Yeah,
That's
which
true.
is not
Stop
ideal now.
Stop.
He's undefeated.
Stop finding and teeing people up for fucking expressing emotion on the floor.
Right.
Dana White's undefeated.
Let people also like. It's kind of boring because they're all like bros now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Nobody hates each other.
No.
Yeah, you need to hate each other.
Nobody wants to play every game.
Real quick, I've read a few different places over the internet over the past week that the Lakers might trade LeBron. Any truth to that? I don't
Man.
see that happening.
I don't give a shit.
I don't
I
either.
just don't care anymore.
Maybe-
I'm so out on LeBron. I don't give
Maybe
a fuck.
Houston, because they're going to have the first pick in the draft, and they'll take Bronny and right.
Maybe.
No, they're not going to do that.
That would be,
Maybe.
yeah.
Bronny, he's not even the best player in his
Bronny's
own
not even
family.
eligible.
He's like a top 50 college recruit.
No, top 80. I think he's ranked like 80th.
I thought he was
Or
39.
78th
I
or
thought I
something.
saw 46th on 247.
Maybe
the
he's
other day.
up now.
But
He
yeah,
was, the last time I looked,
but
he
he's.
was
I'll say this: he's a 4-star.
He is.
Like he's a 4-star,
And he
which
plays
is great.
in a white Catholic school down there in Santa
But hey,
Monica.
man, so did LeBron.
He's not even the best player on his
well-
high school team.
It's true. It's who's the other dude?
I mean, he was playing with like
Carmelo's kid,
Dwayne's kid.
Dwayne's kid, and somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, a lot of you guys are talking about Jack Mahogoff. Love that username. Georgia minus 13 tonight.
Yep. Hammer.
Final picks here. Who do we got? Somebody's like, hey, why is this my bookie? It's the only place that lets us bet in all 50 states. If somebody else opens up on all 50, we'll consider him for sure. Who do you got tonight? Real quick.
What are you talking
Minus
about?
13.5, UGA, TCU.
I told you, I got
know.
TCU.
People are asking because they're just tuning in now live.
Georgia.
I bet on TCU, but I doubt that's gonna.
Or actually, I took TCU to cover earlier. I TCU covers.
I've got-
Georgia by 3 scores.
So you've got Georgia with the points, right?
yeah.
My brain tells me that we already had. There's only usually 1 or 2 exciting games in the college football playoff.
We already got 2.
We already got 2. My brain tells me that this is going to be a bad game.
I think TCU covers. TCU with the points. So we'll find out here in 2 hours.
Hour.
An hour.
Yep.
Damn. Let's go, fam. Thanks for being here, kids. For Papa Giorgio, Delco Dan Holloway, D'Anthony Holloway, Hot Bob, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.